Hey everybody, Craig Howie here of Howie Guitars, and we're working on part 9 now of the Phoenix series build that we're doing for the SVVSD mobile lab. And today what we have to do is, the neck is glued on, so now we got to clean up that neck joint. We got to sand that nice and clean. Then we got to do what I call a dry build, where we make sure all of the components and the hardware and the strings and everything fits before we move on to the finishing stages. And once that's done, finally we got to resand, rough sand the entire guitar. So here we go.
Okay, first thing we got to do is take the clamp off and get the wooden blocks off. Looks something like this, pretty ugly with all the wood filler and everything. So now we're going to start by sanding the heel clean. And then start rough sanding the sides to dovetail into the body. Now this drill sander helps a ton to get the sides nice and flush to each other. And of course, a lot of fine sanding now by hand. Takes quite a long time. Slow but sure. And finally when you're done, it looks something like this, nice and clean neck joint. Okay, we're gonna get the tape off now. Now we've got to do the dry build, so I'm gonna start by putting the tuning machines in. I put them in and mark the holes, and then I go ahead and drill from there. Then it's time to screw them in. Okay, now I've got to drill this hole for a ground wire. This will come in later. I'm going to go ahead and put the wire in. Now I'll put the bridge pins in. Set the bridge on. Time to put the tail piece in here. Looking good. And now it's time to go ahead and put the strings on. Okay, once all the strings are on, I'm going to use that special ruler I used with the nut to make sure that they're spaced perfectly on the bridge. And once they're spaced, I'm going to go in and mark them with the marker here. And then go ahead and file in where they need to sit so they'll sit nice and still in the right place. Alright, now it's time to undo everything that I just did now that I know everything fits. Okay, finally the rough sanding of the entire guitar. This takes quite a long time, hours and hours. So you just make sure you don't miss any part of the body, and you try to get it down to at least 220 grit. Okay, and after hours of sanding, there she is, all ready for the finishing process, and day 9 is done.